Yo people, welcome back to another video. Now, I wanted to speak about a theory in which we see Jey Uso turn heel after he wins the World Heavyweight Championship at Wrestlemania 41. Now, realistically, the likelihood of this happening is very low in my opinion because Jey is so over right now and he has all the support of the kids and everything. He's arguably more over than Cody Rhodes right now. However, the stories that can be told would connect a lot of wrestlers in the roster, which would make his story really feel like a main event level story and could be some of the best work that we've seen from Jey Uso. I've personally always said that Jey's best work has been as a heel and with his brother. So this heel turn, you'd be able to incorporate both of those elements while he's on his solo run with a top belt. So let's start with why he would turn heel, and there have been theories about The Rock when he has been at Bad Blood, for example, doing the 3 fingers. Then when he got John Cena to turn, it was 2 fingers, and people have said, what if he's signaling towards one more person joining the team built by the final boss? Now you may be thinking, why would they need a third person? Now I'll answer that by saying, number one, The Rock and John Cena are part-timers, so they'd need someone to keep their presence around full-time. Number two, The Rock talks about him wanting to have his own champion, but what's to say he doesn't want control of both of the top belts, which in theory makes him have control of both SmackDown and Raw. This move alone gives so much relevance and prestige to the World Heavyweight Championship, which is in dire need of it since the title has been in decline ever since Gunther took it. If Jey took the belt, that immediately adds new life to the World Heavyweight Championship, but it gets even more relevance and life knowing that the champion has the backing of The Rock and John Cena. Number 3, maybe this is the final boss's scheme to attack both of the company's current top guys and current faces, which are Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, especially Roman by taking his bloodline and making them go against him, which starts to build up Roman versus The Rock for Mania 42. So I'll give a scenario and then the explanation, but the heel turn could take place at WrestleMania 41. Jey pins Gunther on night 1, Jey eats with the crowd, gets the whole babyface pop, everyone loves him, etc. Then we got Cena vs Rhodes on night 2 as the main event. The match has interferences, maybe The Rock comes out to ensure that Cena wins, then Stone Cold comes out to stop him, then a hooded person comes out and hits Cody or hands Cena one of those OG chains that he used to use. He then hits Cody and wins. People will get so triggered because they think that this mystery person is Travis Scott who assisted Cena with the win, but when the face reveal happens, it's Jey Uso. Everyone would be in shock, Cody Rhodes would be in shock, then we get Jey Uso, John Cena and the final boss all in the ring celebrating, the final boss in control of WWE with his 2 champions. WrestleMania ends with one of the most villainous moments ever. Now just hold on to Cody Rhodes as I will mention him later on in the video. Now why would Jey have gone heel? Well, the catalyst could be if Jey vs Gunther wasn't the main event of night 1 at Mania, which would then annoy Jey Uso. How can he be main event Jey, going for the World Heavyweight title, and not be the main event of WrestleMania night 1? He'd say that the company didn't believe in him to have his match be the main event match. He can say that The Rock heard about his anger and came calling with the big money offer he gave to Cody Rhodes if he wins the belt. Quick side note by the way, is it a coincidence that John Cena and Jey Uso both finished final 2 at the Royal Rumble? They could possibly add that as part of The Rock's grand scheme. Anyways, then Jey can do the whole, a lot of people didn't believe in me, a lot of the people in the locker room didn't believe in me, a lot of the crowd didn't believe in me, Michael Cole and the commentary didn't believe in me, but the final boss did. He can also say how John Cena showed genuine support to him after he won the Royal Rumble, which is actually true by the way. Let's not forget Jey Uso's entrance as well on the first Raw on Netflix. Who came out with him? None other than Travis Scott. So he already has interacted with the 2 other members of The Rock's faction as it stands. So the pieces are there if they want to do it. Jey can say how he's done with all this fake positivity support from everyone and the whole yeet thing which makes people not take him seriously. It's time for him to evolve and be taken seriously. Jey can further add that The Rock came to him with this offer. He can say that it's a big money offer which would help Jey provide for his own family and for many generations to come. I remember I want to say it was around this time, but in 2023, Jey gave that promo about why he betrayed Sami Zayn, and long story short, he said he didn't want to, but that he had to because it was for his family. He did it for Jimmy. Heel bloodline Jey was very blinded by love and having the acceptance of his family. That's one thing that he needed. So they could again play with that idea of loyalty and family with Jey Uso's character character again, but this time involving the final boss. Jey can say that The Rock promised him a long reign with the belt, and he could reference how he won the Intercontinental belt as a nice guy but lost it within a month. He can say that he had to take this approach to ensure himself a long reign, one that he deserves, etc. Let's not forget, The Rock is a high chief of the bloodline, so this offer can be the success and fame lifestyle he offered Cody, but it has more meaning because the final boss can promise him all these family accomplishments. As I mentioned, we know how much family means to Jey. The Rock can even go and offer him a chance to become the tribal chief, which can be used as an incentive for Jey. The Rock hasn't actually caused Jey any problems. Jey will see it as the final boss appreciates what he's done, how Jey's had this come up with his brother, and he can keep cutting promos saying that with Jey himself as the new tribal chief, there would be a fair ruling on the bloodline. He would want to unite everyone, unlike the bullying and the pain that Roman caused Jey Uso to go through at the start of this whole storyline. With that also being a reason as to why he joined The Rock. Someone who believed in him, didn't abuse his loyalty from his point of view at least. We know The Rock would be pulling the strings and manipulating Jey. We know that Jey and Roman's relationship wasn't 100% last time either. They worked together, but it wasn't the same as always, so the seeds are there in case they go for it. Now, you may be thinking, if Jey turns heel, then he'll lose all that yeet momentum, and I agree, it could be risky. However, we've seen Jimmy cooking up with those no yeet chants, and people are low-key doing it. What if that's foreshadowing, testing the waters for when heel Jey starts doing it? Then you could have Jey use the whole no yeet with the audience's response being yeet. So that way you could keep the momentum of yeet still going, but with a fresh take at the same time. Kinda like how Daniel Bryan used to say no and the crowd would chant yes to annoy him. I'd personally like if Jimmy was Jey Uso's right hand man throughout this heel run, because it would still allow Jey to have his solo heel run, but it also allows the Usos to reunite and have some tag matches along the way. It would also count as a new member being added to this faction that the final boss has built. It allows Jimmy to actually do meaningful stuff, and it's basically building the OG bloodline again, but without Roman, John Cena being the honorary Uso in this version. With that alone, you've now created a long-term goal of heel Jey versus face Roman at SummerSlam in the repeat of the 2023 main event for the belt and for the tribal chief status. It would put Roman in a tricky position because he'd probably have to team up with people like Solo and or Jacob, depending on if they turn on each other. But doing this allows those two to really gain main event experience and shine alongside Roman Reigns, just how the Usos did in the original Bloodline run. What you could even do is Jey wins the match at SummerSlam because Tama Tonga betrays Solo, Jacob and Roman and sides with the final boss. With Jey as the tribal chief and champion, we could see the power get to his head and the corruption get to him, which by doing this, by the way, would actually fix a previous storyline. Remember the one where Jimmy turned on Jey at SummerSlam because he didn't want Jey to get corrupt, and it was a kind of a boring excuse, but this would then prove that point and fix that storyline that we saw before. I know some people are tired of the whole bloodline story, but the whole story has to end with Roman versus The Rock. But because fans didn't want it at Mania 40 and The Rock can't do Mania 41, it's just been delayed, but that has to be the endgame. Doing all these additions would give this storyline one last injection of life and then finally end all of it at WrestleMania 42. So I've mentioned how all this helps Jey and allows Roman, Cena, Jimmy, etc. to be involved, but this story impacts Cody Rhodes too in his own personal story. Let's not forget, since Cody Rhodes won the belt, he's lost a lot of friends that helped him, such as Kevin Owens, John Cena, they've now gone against him. Punk, I'd say he's like 50-50. Seth, he's like 50-50 as well. Sammy would help, but he's out currently. Orton maybe, but he's going to be busy. AJ Styles also went heel against Cody Rhodes. Jey Uso is the one guy that has been by Cody's side. They even won the tag titles together, but this would definitely affect Cody seeing Jey turn heel. It might also start planting the seeds for Cody's own heel booking, seeing how Cena and Jey, they sell out, they have the gold, and they're living life while he had the gold and was struggling and losing friends. While Jey has the title run and Roman isn't around, he could have feuds with Drew McIntyre, who is a bloodline hater. He could have feuds with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, wins, the list goes on. Yes, some people call out that Jey is a limited fighter, he's one-dimensional, whatever you want to call it, but being a heel complements this agenda that people have. Also, I think Jimmy Uso complements this whole idea perfectly and would make his run more believable, especially if it's going to be a long-term reign. By long-term, by the way, I think Jey should lose the belt maybe at the Royal Rumble, which would be around 287 days, assuming the Rumble is on the last Saturday of January. Hopefully he would have had more title defenses than Cody Rhodes, who has 7 so far in over 330 days. Also, Gunther has had the belt for 219 days as of the 10th of March, and he's defended the title 6 times, with 2 of them being in irrelevant Saturday night main event matches. But yeah, Jey Uso as a heel, for me, it's looking very unlikely. But as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Is this too unlikely? Is it something you'd want to see? Who would you want to turn heel next with the belt? I'd appreciate if you could drop a like on this video as well. Sub to the channel as we close in on 1K subscribers. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.